Okay, so today we're diving deep into Berrella Corporation.
Ah, yes, Berrella Corporation.
Based in Vermont. They've got this,
Wild.
wild plan to, completely shake up the entertainment industry.
They really do.
You're probably thinking Vermont.
Right.
What's going on there?
Exactly.
Well, the mastermind behind this whole thing
Yeah.
is a middle school science teacher.
No way.
Yeah, he's building an AI-powered media empire.
It's pretty incredible.
It is, and we've got all sorts of sources for this one.
Oh, yeah.
We've got internal documents outlining their AI agent structure.
Interesting.
And even YouTube videos where the founder himself lays out his vision.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, it's going to be a wild ride.
I'm excited.
So get ready to unpack how Berrella plans to use AI, transmedia storytelling, and good old-fashioned showmanship to build this empire.
Sounds fascinating.
So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
So what's really captivating about Berrella is they're not just another production company. They're trying to build this massive media ecosystem encompassing film, video games, comics, music, live events, merchandise, you name it.
Wow.
They really want to recapture that magic of those 80s franchises like Transformers and G.I. Joe, but with a 21st century twist.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit, I was totally skeptical at first.
I can imagine.
A middle school teacher, AI and a media empire?
Yeah.
It sounded like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But the more I dug into this, the more intrigued I became.
Yeah, I get that.
So let's meet the man behind all of this.
Okay.
Joe Spears, the founder of Berrella, is a fascinating character, to say the least.
He really is.
In one of his videos, he talks about building his first chatbot in the 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
On an Apple IIe.
On an Apple IIe.
Imagine that.
That's impressive.
A 6th grader coding a chatbot.
Wow.
And get this, he says that bot is still running today.
What?
As part of Berrella's operations.
That's incredible.
So he obviously has a long-standing love for AI.
It seems like it...
But what's really interesting is how his other experiences kind of feed into his vision for this company.
Oh, okay.
He's been a horse carriage driver in Philadelphia.
What?
A public speaker.
Okay.
A musician. He even plays in a band with his sons.
That's cool.
So this diverse background seems to inform his approach to building a media company.
I see.
He seems to really get the importance of storytelling, live performance, connecting with an audience on multiple levels.
That's a great point.
And that leads us to Berrella's big idea.
Okay.
Using 5,000 AI agents
1,000?
to manage a network of over 20 companies.
Whoa, hold on. 5,000 AI agents?
Yeah.
That sounds insanely complex.
It does. How did that even work? So think of it like a traditional media company.
Okay.
But instead of human departments, you have specialized AI agents handling everything.
Really?
From project management and content creation to legal, financial, and distribution tasks.
So these AI agents are doing everything?
Yeah, basically everything.
From writing scripts to managing finances.
Yeah. Can you walk us through the tech behind this?
Yeah, so we're talking about a sophisticated network of AI.
Okay.
Each agent designed for a specific task.
Uh-huh.
They're using natural language processing, machine learning, predictive analytics.
Wow.
A whole toolkit of AI technologies.
Sounds impressive.
And the level of detail they've put into each agent's role is pretty remarkable. For example, Agent 1 is basically the project manager and co-author working directly with Joe.
Interesting.
Then there's Agent 2, the legal and ethical advisor.
Okay.
Agent 3, handling media and content distribution. Agent 4 is the financial strategist. And so on, all the way up to Agent 127.
127.
It's mind-blowing, really.
That is a lot of agents.
Like, they've anticipated every possible need within a media company.
Right.
And created an AI agent to take care of it.
But is there any precedent for this?
That's a good question.
Are there any examples of this working at this scale in other industries? It's definitely uncharted territory in terms of its application to the media industry.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
The closest comparisons might be in fields like finance or logistics, where AI is being used to manage complex systems and automate tasks.
Right.
But even those examples pale in comparison to the sheer scope of what Berrella is attempting.
Yeah, it sounds pretty ambitious.
And how does Joe envision managing all of these agents?
Yeah.
He can't possibly be overseeing thousands of AI individually.
That's what I was wondering.
Now, that's where the structure of the AI network comes in.
Okay.
The agents are designed to operate with a degree of autonomy.
Uh-huh.
following pre-programmed guidelines and learning from their experiences.
So they're constantly evolving.
Exactly. And they're also able to communicate and collaborate with each other, sharing information and coordinating tasks.
That's fascinating.
It's like a hive mind almost.
Right.
Joe's role, as he describes it, is more of a conductor,
Oh, I like that.
setting the overall direction and ensuring that the AI orchestra is playing in harmony.
That makes sense. But managing a complex system like this,
Yeah.
even with AI,
Right.
has to come with inherent risks.
Of course.
What are some potential pitfalls they might encounter?
Well, you've got the risk of bias in the AI's decision-making,
Okay.
the potential for unforeseen errors or glitches,
Right.
the need for constant monitoring and adjustment. These are all factors they'll need to address.
Makes sense. And then there's the question of scalability.
Yeah.
Can this system actually handle the demands of a rapidly growing media empire?
Exactly. Only time will tell.
It's definitely a high-stakes gamble.
It is. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about how Joe plans to use these AI agents to actually create content.
Okay, sounds good.
You mentioned transmedia storytelling earlier.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar, can you explain how Berrella plans to use this approach to create immersive experiences?
Sure, so think of it this way. You're not just watching a movie.
Right.
You're entering a world. The story extends beyond the screen, unfolding across multiple platforms. Video games, comics, social media, even AR and VR.
Wow.
Each piece of content adds another layer to the narrative, creating a more engaging and immersive experience for the audience.
So it's about creating a universe that people can really dive into and explore.
Exactly.
But wouldn't managing so many platforms be incredibly resource intensive?
You would think so.
How does Berrella plan to overcome those challenges?
That's where the AI agents come in again.
Okay.
They handle the heavy lifting, generating content, managing social media, adapting storylines for different platforms.
So they're doing all the work.
Yeah, it's like having a team of tireless creatives working around the clock.
It sounds like a dream for any content creator.
It does, doesn't it?
But how does this translate into actual projects?
Right.
We know Berrella has a bunch of subsidiaries focusing on different aspects of entertainment.
Yeah, they do.
Can you give us some specific examples?
Absolutely. So one of Joe's YouTube videos outlines how he envisions allocating these 4,000 AI agents. Okay.
Across Berrella's various subsidiaries, he presents 3 different scenarios,
Yeah, okay.
each with a unique strategy for maximizing the company's success.
Interesting.
The first one he calls growth-driven allocation.
Growth-driven allocation.
This prioritizes companies with the highest growth potential,
Okay.
especially those focused on emerging technologies like AI 3D modeling and VR.
So in this scenario, companies like Gamma FX,
Yeah.
which specializes in 3D modeling and special effects,
Right.
would receive a significant number of agents.
Exactly.
It's a bold strategy, betting big on the future of media consumption.
It is.
What about the other scenarios?
So the second scenario is balanced allocation.
Balanced allocation.
This aims for a more even distribution of agents across all subsidiaries,
Okay.
ensuring that each company within Berrella's ecosystem has the resources it needs to function efficiently,
Uh-huh.
regardless of its size or projected growth.
Makes sense.
And finally, there's creative expansion focus.
Creative expansion focus. This approach places a higher emphasis on storytelling and artistic production. Companies like Infinite Realm Productions focused on sci-fi storytelling, and Far Out Films specializing in experimental film would get a larger allocation of agents under this scenario.
So it's interesting to see these different approaches
Yeah.
and how they reflect Joe's vision for Berrella's future.
Definitely.
But it's not just theoretical.
No, it's not.
In his videos, Joe mentions some of Berrella's current projects,
Oh, really?
and they are all over the map.
Oh, wow.
He talks about Farstro Sonante Rave,
Okay.
this multi-format project that includes a play,
Uh-huh.
an epic poem.
Whoa.
And he's even planning a full-scale movie release in 2027.
That's ambitious.
It is.
Reh.
Then there's Cannonball Crypto and the Cryptonauts Live,
Cannonball Crypto.
a science fiction dance party
What?
scheduled for October 4th, 2024
Okay.
at Lost Nation in Vermont.
Wow. And get this.
What?
He's playing in the band for that one with his son.
So you're telling me this guy is creating a sci-fi dance party with his son?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is.
I definitely need to hear more about that later.
We'll definitely circle back to that.
What other projects are in the works?
Well, there's Bess.
Ah.
A video game and tabletop RPG in development.
Oh, cool.
And The Seven,
The 7 and 7s?
a comic book series and potential video game involving time travel, Abraham Lincoln, and a robotic John Wilkes Booth.
Wow. The sheer range of these projects is pretty remarkable.
It really is.
From epic poems and experimental films to video games and sci-fi dance parties, it really speaks to the breadth of Berrella's creative ambitions.
I agree.
And he's not afraid to collaborate.
Oh, yeah.
He even put out a call for collaboration with Agent Ops,
Okay.
a seemingly external AI development team,
Interesting.
in one of his videos.
So this willingness to partner with others
Yeah.
suggests that he's open to sharing his resources and potentially even joint ventures.
That's a good point.
He seems genuinely interested in pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And seems to understand that collaboration is key to achieving that.
It makes you wonder what kind of partnerships and joint ventures might emerge from this kind of open approach to AI development.
That's right.
It's truly uncharted territory.
It is.
Berrella Corporation
But speaking
is
of pushing
pioneering the future
boundaries,
of entertainment
one thing
and
that
digital
struck
media.
me was this
We
idea of
harness AI to
AI-driven
create a dynamic
customization that Joe
ecosystem of
mentioned.
companies
Oh, yeah.
specializing
He
in
talks
everything
about
from
allowing
music
consumers
production
to
3D
design their own
modeling
characters
and video game development.
or even
Our
influence
unique approach
storylines.
uses AI
That's
agents to
interesting.
simulate
Can you elaborate
a
on
large
that a bit?
corporation.
Sure. So imagine a toy line
Okay.
where you can digitally create a unique action figure
In August,
and
we
then have it 3D
successfully
printed and
deployed
shipped to your
25
door.
AI
That's
agents
cool.
across
Or
various
a video
sectors
game
within
where the
Berrella.
storyline adapts based on
These
your
agents
choices
have been
and preferences.
instrumental
Oh,
in
wow.
automating
It's about
tasks,
tapping into the desire
streamlining
for
processes,
personalization
and
Right.
enhancing
and making
productivity in
consumers
real
feel
time.
like they're part of the
We are
creative
just getting
process.
started.
That's a brilliant
and we
way
look
to
forward
engage
to
the audience
normalizing
and
AI
create a more
agents for
interactive
business.
experience.
I think so too.
But it also raises some questions about quality control and maintaining a cohesive narrative.
Yeah, good point.
How does Berrella plan to address those concerns?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we'll explore further when we dive into the specific roles and capabilities of their AI agents.
Okay.
We'll also take a closer look at Berrella's strategy for balancing creative freedom with brand consistency and quality standards.
That makes sense.
It's a delicate balancing act,
It is.
but one that they seem determined to master.
This is all fascinating, but let's be realistic.
Yep.
Building a company of this scale,
Yeah,
especially with such a reliance on emerging technology,
right.
comes with inherent risks.
Of course.
What are some of the potential roadblocks that Berrella might face?
Well, there's the obvious financial risk.
Yep.
Can they secure the funding needed to sustain this level of growth?
Right.
And can they generate enough revenue to make this whole venture profitable?
That's a big question.
Then there's the competition.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The entertainment industry is fiercely competitive.
It is.
And established players won't just sit back and watch Berrella disrupt the market.
Right.
They'll be fighting tooth and nail to maintain their dominance.
That makes sense.
And what about the regulatory landscape?
Yeah, that's a good point.
AI is a rapidly evolving field,
Right.
and the legal and ethical implications are still being debated.
Uh-huh.
Could regulatory hurdles stifle Berrella's progress?
Absolutely.
The lack of clear guidelines around AI development and deployment could pose a significant challenge.
Yeah.
There's also the potential for public backlash against AI,
Right.
especially if there are concerns about job displacement or the ethical implications of using AI in creative fields.
So it's a minefield of potential challenges.
It is.
Yet, despite all these risks, Joe seems undeterred.
Yeah, he does.
In fact, he seems incredibly driven to make this vision a reality.
It's true. He's not just a dreamer.
No.
He's a doer. And he's putting everything he has into this.
Well, let's dive deeper into the mind of Joe Spears. What makes this middle school science teacher tick?
Yeah.
What drives him to build this AI-powered media empire?
That's a great question.
Stay tuned as we uncover more about the man behind Berrella in part 2 of our deep dive.
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
I'm sure it will be.
Okay, we'll see you then.
See you then. Picking up where we left off.
Yeah,
You really have to admire Joe's ambition.
yeah, he's going for it.
Berrella isn't just about creating content.
Right,
It's about building this whole interconnected world.
like an empire.
Yeah, exactly. An empire.
It's like he studied all those successful 80s franchises he loves
Mhm.
and figured out how to recreate that magic for today's audiences.
You know what's really insightful?
Yeah.
Is we actually have this document outlining their strategy for doing just that.
Oh, wow. So they actually lay it out.
They do.
So what does it say?
Well, Berrella pinpointed several key elements that made franchises like Transformers and G.I. Joe such massive hits back in the 80s.
Okay, like what?
Oh, things like integrated marketing strong characters and those clever exclusive offers.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
So nostalgic.
But then they took those principles
Yeah.
and found a way to translate them for the modern consumer.
Wow, so they modernized them.
Exactly. I like it. They talk about this concept called transmedia storytelling,
Okay, transmedia storytelling.
where you take a narrative
Uh-huh.
and expand it across different platforms.
Like what kind of platforms?
TV streaming, video games, social media, even AR and VR.
So it's like you're not just watching a show or playing a game.
Right.
You're stepping into this whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The goal is to create this immersive experience
That makes sense.
that goes beyond just passively watching a show or playing a game.
But wouldn't that require a massive amount of resources?
It would, but that's where the AI comes in.
Okay, so the AI is handling all that.
Yeah, they handle the heavy lifting, like
Yeah.
content generation, social media management, and adapting storylines for different platforms.
Wow, so they're like a whole team of content creators.
Think of it as a team of super efficient creatives working 24/7.
That's a game changer.
It is.
But with so much AI involvement, wouldn't the content feel generic or lack that human touch?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But from what we're seeing, Berrella is very aware of that potential pitfall.
Okay, go.
They seem to be approaching AI as a tool to amplify human creativity, not replace it.
Okay, that makes sense.
In fact, they emphasize the importance of human oversight and creative direction in their AI-driven processes.
So it's not about churning out soulless content.
No, not at all.
It's about using AI to push the boundaries of storytelling and explore new creative possibilities.
Precisely.
Cool.
And they're not just focused on the technology itself.
Right.
They also understand the importance of appealing to a wide audience.
Of course.
They explicitly call out the need for global and diverse storytelling in their strategy document.
That's great to hear.
It is.
It's refreshing to see a company proactively addressing the need for representation and inclusivity in their content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes good business sense, too.
Of course.
After all, the more diverse and inclusive their stories are,
Yeah.
the wider their potential audience becomes.
So they're blending cutting-edge technology with a socially conscious approach to storytelling.
Exactly.
But how does Joe plan to manage all of this?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Remember, he's still a middle school science teacher.
Well, in one of his videos, Joe talks about running Berrella as a sole proprietorship,
The sole proprietorship.
at least for now.
Okay.
He wants to maintain full control over the company and its direction,
Makes sense.
especially in these early stages.
Yeah, that's a bold move going against the typical startup playbook of seeking investors and scaling rapidly.
It is.
Wow.
But it seems like Joe is prioritizing long-term sustainability over quick growth.
Okay, so he's playing the long game.
He is. He wants to make sure that Berrella stays true to his vision and doesn't get bogged down by external pressures.
That's admirable, but can he really manage a sprawling media empire with over 20 companies all on his own?
Well, that's where the AI agents come into play again.
Okay, so they're doing even more.
They are. They're not just content creators. They're also managers, strategists, analysts,
Wow.
essentially taking on the roles that would typically require a huge human workforce.
So the AI is handling everything from script writing to financial management.
That's right.
That's a lot of responsibility. What if something goes wrong?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And one that Joe seems to have anticipated.
Okay.
He talks about building in redundancies and fail-safes within the AI network.
Okay.
There are multiple agents for each critical function, and they're designed to monitor each other's performance, flagging any potential issues or errors.
So they can catch problems before they happen.
Ideally.
Yes. That's really smart.
It is.
It sounds like he's trying to mitigate the risks as much as possible.
He is.
But even with all the safeguards in place, there's always a chance that something unexpected could happen.
Of course. Relying on AI at this scale is uncharted territory.
Yeah.
There are bound to be challenges and setbacks along the way.
But you have to admire Joe's willingness to experiment and push the boundaries of what's possible.
That's absolutely.
He's like a pioneer.
He is. He's a true pioneer, and his story is an inspiration to anyone who dreams of disrupting an industry.
I love that.
Speaking of Joe's story,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about his company and his vision,
Right.
but what about the man himself?
Yeah. What is he actually like?
What's he really like?
Yeah.
From what we've gathered through his YouTube videos and interviews, Joe comes across as a passionate, energetic, and incredibly driven individual.
Yeah. He definitely has that infectious enthusiasm
He does.
that you can't help but be drawn to.
He's also very transparent about his journey and his motivations.
Oh.
He talks openly about his financial goals, his struggles, his triumphs.
Wow.
He's not afraid to show his vulnerability.
And that authenticity is refreshing,
It is.
especially in a world where so many entrepreneurs try to project this image of perfection and effortless success.
Exactly. Joe's not afraid to be himself,
Good for him.
quirks and all. And that makes him relatable and inspiring.
He's also a talented musician, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He mentioned playing in a band with his sons.
Oh, yeah, that sci-fi dance party he's planning sounds amazing.
It does.
It's clear that music is a big part of his life.
Yeah.
And it seems to influence his approach to Berrella as well.
It's like he's trying to create a symphony of content
I like that.
with all these different elements coming together in harmony.
And the AI agents are his instruments,
Right.
each playing a specific role in the grand orchestra.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Thank you.
So we've got this ambitious entrepreneur, a groundbreaking vision, and an army of AI agents ready to disrupt the entertainment industry.
It's quite a combination.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, there's always the potential for unforeseen challenges. The technology could evolve in unexpected ways.
Right.
The market could shift.
Yeah.
Competitors could emerge with their own AI-powered strategies.
And managing a company of this scale, even with AI assistance, is bound to come with its own set of headaches.
Definitely.
But even with all the potential risks,
Yeah,
there's something undeniably exciting about what Berrella is trying to achieve.
I agree. It's a story that captures the imagination and raises all sorts of questions about the future of creativity, technology, and entertainment.
Absolutely.
And it's a story that we'll continue to follow closely.
We will.
But for now, let's shift our focus to the financial side of things.
Okay.
Because all this creativity and innovation needs fuel, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
In part 3, we'll delve into Berrella's financial strategy.
That's good.
We'll explore their revenue models, their approach to funding, and the challenges they face in building a sustainable business.
I'm looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we've talked about Joe's big vision for Berrella and explored those AI agents that are like the backbone of the whole thing.
Yeah, the AI is everywhere.
But let's be real here.
Right.
None of this is possible without money.
True,
And that's where Joe's approach gets interesting.
Oh, yeah.
He's so transparent about his financial goals for Berrella. Remember how he even mentioned that $250,000 salary target?
He did. It seems pretty modest,
It does.
considering the scale of everything.
Yeah, like he's trying to build this whole empire,
Yeah.
but he's not aiming for like millions.
But I think it speaks volumes about his priorities.
Yeah, what do you think it means?
It's clear that he's not just in this for a quick buck.
Right.
He's building something he actually believes in.
Yeah, something with a purpose.
Right, something that allows him to fully dedicate himself to his creative vision.
That's so refreshing to hear,
I agree.
especially in a world where it seems like so many companies are just obsessed with like hyper growth and profits.
Maximizing profits above everything else. But Joe's taking a more measured approach,
Yeah,
focused on sustainability,
right.
building a company that can actually thrive long term.
Okay, so he's in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
But how does he plan to achieve that financially?
Yeah. What's the strategy?
What are his revenue models?
Well, it seems like he's definitely not limiting himself to those traditional approaches.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
He's exploring all sorts of ways to make money from Berella's content.
Okay.
Like, for instance, he's a big believer in the potential of blockchain technology.
blockchain.
Yeah.
How does that even fit into the entertainment industry?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
He basically sees blockchain as this way to create completely new revenue streams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Things like tokenized content,
That's content.
unique digital collectibles.
Like NFTs.
Exactly like NFTs.
Wow.
Even fractional ownership of intellectual property.
That's next level.
It is.
I'm not even sure I fully understand that.
Well, it's still early days,
Right.
but there are definitely some promising projects out there.
Oh, really?
Like some musicians are already using blockchain to release and sell their music.
Directly to fans.
Yeah, directly to fans, cutting out the middleman and keeping more of the profits.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So Joe's basically trying to apply those same principles to the entire media landscape.
Exactly.
That's a bold move.
He wants to create a more equitable and transparent system
I like that.
where creators are actually rewarded fairly for their work,
Right.
and where fans can directly support the content they love.
That's a really cool vision.
It is.
But can he actually pull it off?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
I mean, the entertainment industry is notoriously resistant to change.
It really is.
But Joe seems undeterred.
Yeah, it seems like nothing can stop him.
He really believes that the current system is broken
Yeah.
and that blockchain can be this catalyst for positive change.
I hope he's right.
He too.
Well, I definitely admire his ambition.
He's going for it.
But let's get real here for a second. Okay. Building a company this big takes a lot of money.
It does.
Where's he getting all this money to fund everything?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Joe's been kind of vague about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's mentioned running Berrella as a sole proprietorship for now.
Right.
Which probably means he's bootstrapping everything.
So he's funding it all himself?
Seems like it.
That's incredibly risky.
It is, but it also gives him total control over the company.
That's true.
He doesn't have to answer to investors.
Right.
He can make decisions based on his own vision and values.
There's something to be said for that.
But can he really scale Berrella to the level he envisions without outside funding?
That's the big question.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah, who knows?
At some point, he'll likely need to bring in partners or investors.
Probably.
Especially if he wants to expand into things like film production or theme park development.
Right. Those are huge ventures.
Those kinds of things require massive upfront investments.
So his current strategy of focusing on lower cost, digital-first content makes a lot of sense.
It does.
He's building a foundation,
Yeah.
establishing a brand,
Right.
generating revenue.
All before diving into the really big budget projects.
So it's like a stepping stone approach.
Yeah, start small, prove the concept, then scale up gradually.
And it seems to be working.
It does.
He's already got projects in development.
Right.
He's building partnerships.
Mhm.
He's generating a lot of buzz.
But even with all the planning and strategic thinking,
Yeah,
there's always a degree of uncertainty,
of course.
especially when you're dealing with new technologies like AI and blockchain.
I mean, the technology could change so quickly.
It could. The market could shift.
New competitors could pop up.
Exactly. New competitors could emerge.
And let's not forget about government regulations.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Governments around the world are still trying to figure out how to regulate AI.
Right. And blockchain is facing its own set of legal challenges.
It's a lot to navigate.
It's a lot to keep track of, for sure.
Yeah.
But one thing's clear, Joe Spears is not afraid of taking risks.
No, he's definitely not afraid of a challenge.
He's a visionary.
Yeah.
He's an innovator.
He's a true entrepreneur.
And he's determined to make Berrella a success.
Well, whether or not he achieves all of his goals,
Yeah.
he's already started this amazing conversation about the future of entertainment.
That's right. He's challenging the status quo, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
And inspiring others to think differently about how technology can be used in creative fields.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Berrella Corporation,
Yeah.
I think the big question is, will they actually succeed?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
But one thing's for sure,
What's that?
this whole journey is going to be fascinating to watch.
I agree with that.
And regardless of what happens,
Yeah.
Berrella's story is a powerful reminder that innovation often comes from unexpected places.
That's a great point.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity, the boundless potential of technology, and that unwavering belief in the power of dreams.
So to our listener out there,
Yeah.
think about this. What impossible dreams are you holding on to?
Good question.
What can you do today to make those dreams a reality?
Because the future isn't something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something we create.
And with a little courage
And a lot of creativity.
and a willingness to embrace the unknown,
Yeah, to step outside your comfort zone.
we can all play a part in shaping a world that's more innovative,
More equitable.
more entertaining.
Yeah, a world that's truly amazing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Berrella Corporation.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep dreaming big.
And never stop exploring.